We're coming to you with our second release this month, January 2023. The release this month is called A Stretch of River. It's another customizable scene. There's 5 different areas to customize, as well as the bridge that crosses the river in the middle here. So here we can already see that the scene is set up with some variations. I'll just run through some of the basics of how the scene works. It's pretty simple, this release. So just zooming out, you can see in the margins, each area has been laid out. Area 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 at the bottom here. The buttons for the bridges are on the right, and then up in the top left corner in green, I have themes. It's easy enough to use the scene. Simply click on whatever option you like for each of the areas or the theme. So if you click on the theme, these are essentially quick buttons. Clicking on base activates all of the base buttons in all of the areas, and as you can see, it's just kind of grassland along a river. Second theme is the hills theme. This will activate the hills or cliffs buttons in each of the 5 areas, and also place the rope bridge in the middle. The last theme is the farmland theme, which places the farmhouse, stone bridge, some fields at the bottom, as well as a campsite in the top right. Going to look at each area now, we have area 1. In the top left, we have the base. You can see all the walls and doors are updating. Cave variation, cliff with a cave entrance. Farmhouse variation, which puts in an entire house, including roof and active tiles. I'll just drag out a token quickly so you can see exactly what's happened. So you can see there's an overhead tile there for the roof. If you open doors, the doors actually open, and it acts like a ready-made scene. So next we can go to the henge, which is the last option for this area. You can see all the walls have updated, and now we just have a few terrain walls. When you go back to base, all the walls are gone, and you just have an open area again. Going over to area 2, I'll show you the base, which is just grassland, the path, which we were just on, the road, which is more of a maintained stone road, and then also a road with an accident on it. So if you want to have bandits having attacked somebody for whatever reason, that's another option. Moving further to the right, we have area 3. This area is a bit different than the others in the sense that it actually takes up the entire right third of the scene. So some of the options here can affect the entire third, or just the top, or just the bottom. So if we go down to base, see it is just grassland. Then you can choose the lake option, and now the river leads to a lake instead. And now these bottom 4, they each say top or bottom on them, so that means these buttons will only affect those areas. So if I hit the campsite, which is top, you can see a campsite is now shown at the top, but the bottom is unaffected. Also on the top, you can use the hills button just to have a bit more of a rugged location. Looking down at the bottom right here now, we have fields that kind of matches the farm theme, and also a hills option for the bottom, which also produces a bit of a tributary. Over to area 4. Base, again, just grassland field option. You can have a farmer's field, you can have pasture, which is empty, or you can have a pasture which has a few animals in it, depending on how you want to run your game. And lastly, you can also put in a waterfall. So there are 2 levels on the scene. So if you move your tokens up to level 10 foot, you will be able to see the top of the waterfall. So that's the last option for area 4. And then area 5 is on this side, the south side of the bridge. We have the base, which again is just grassland. We have the path that leads to the bridge. We have the road that leads to the bridge, and then just one small variation here, which is just the road with boulders all around it. Adds a bit of a tactical element where creatures guarding the bridge might be hiding behind the boulders. And then the last feature of this map is the bridges in the middle. So there's 3 different options for the bridge and 1 variation. So there's no bridge. You could have a rope bridge, a stone bridge, and then there's also kind of a guard post bridge, which I put here, which I call the drawbridge. So this one comes fully ready to go. Overhead tiles. In addition, if tokens go into the building, interaction points are provided for them to climb up to the 2nd floor. And that's on both sides. You can see there's an interaction point here. There's also an interaction point here. It looks a bit off with the accident there, so I'll just change this. Road will probably look better. This is meant to be a drawbridge, so if you click this, I clicked drawbridge down to show this image. If you go to drawbridge up, now there is no actual crossing, and in fact PCs can't even look across the river here, because as the drawbridge is up, it forms a bit of a wall. So broad drawbridge down. and drawbridge up. So that's the basics of the scene, guys. Pretty simple this time, but it does give you a bunch of different options that you can use. Let me know what you think. If there's any other sort of variations you think would be cool to have in any of these. I'll also point out that if you go to my Actors Compendium, RuinWorks Premium Scenes Actors Compendium, you can go to Trees, make sure the Layers UI is closed. You can drag out a tree and reopen the layers. And now you can also place trees to make some sort of a forest. These all work as you would expect a tree should. So you can see they disappear when they're underneath them. The Actors Compendium is full of 6 different trees which can be used to make the scene into a forest if you so wish. Okay, that's it for me, guys. I will see you hopefully around the mid of February with the next release. Thanks.